WCBI News at 6 starts now.
Good evening, everyone. The deaths of a couple found dead at their home near Mathiston is still under investigation by the Mississippi Bureau of Investigation tonight.
Few details have been released, but it's why they believe the deaths may have been a murder suicide. WCBI's Parker King joins us in the studio to tell us more on this tragedy that has shaken the Webster County community. Parker.
Guys, the two have been identified as Carl and Glenda Nichols. Mr. Nichols is a retired pastor of Hebron Baptist Church. Not far from the Nichols home, we were able to talk with the next door neighbor, and he shared the impact that the couple had on not just him, but also the community.
In the Bible Belt, finding a good Christian family is not hard to do, but the Nichols were special.
He sat there and gave you the answer to whatever problem that you had in life.
On Sunday around 11:15 a.m., police responded to reports of gunfire on Clarkson Road. When arriving at the scene, both Carl and Glenda Nichols were found dead. The shock in the community shows the influence they had, especially on their neighbor, Gary Holland.
Brother Carl has been a mentor for me. Several years back, I went through some issues in life, and I needed somebody to guide me. And for over a year, he was able to guide me. And every day he would sit there and talk to me about what the Lord would do if I'd sit there and turned my life back over to God. And I sat there and did it.
Holland says all you had to do was witness the marriage of the couple to see the love they had for everyone.
His wife, you can't ask for no better person than what she was. From the time she got up in the morning to the time they went to bed, she took care of it. They both loved each other.
Holland says that failing health was taking a toll on a couple who used to live life to its fullest.
A week or so ago, I had the privilege of stopping by there and talking to him. And he had done got to the point to where he was in a wheelchair. He couldn't go out there to his shop and work like he'd been accustomed to. He was confined to a little small room that he had built years ago, from what I understand, for his ex-wife. And he was confined to that room.
Though there are questions that have not been answered yet, the community will remember the Nichols for who they were.
You know, we all go through things in life right there, but that is a good family down there. That's as fine a family as anybody could ever sit there and want to have as a neighbor.
And autopsy reports will confirm if this was indeed a murder-suicide. Live in the studio, Parker King, WCBI News. Andrea?
All right, Parker, thanks so much for that update. A standoff of law enforcement ends with an arrest in Lowndes County. Sheriff Mike Arledge says 29-year-old Gregory Dion Dowd barricaded himself in a home on Burns Circle around 11 o'clock this morning. Deputies were trying to serve a warrant for trafficking cocaine with the enhancement of carrying a firearm. The home reportedly belonged to Dowd's girlfriend, and he lived there with her. There were other family members inside the home when deputies got there, but Dowd was not ready to go to jail.
When we come to serve it, he ran back in and barricaded himself in the house, then went up in the attic. After a little period of time, we backed out and waited, and then we decided to do several different police strategies to try to get him to come out.
Deputies eventually used tear gas to force Dowd out of the house. That was nearly 4 hours later. Arledge says the suspect could be facing other charges after that standoff.
A Lowndes County man is accused of slamming a vehicle door on a deputy's leg. 19-year-old Javante Burks Jr. is charged with simple assault on a law enforcement officer, destroying county property, and resisting arrest. Investigators say deputies attempted to pull Burks over on Highway 182 about midnight Sunday. They say the teen didn't immediately pull over. Once he did, the deputy walked up to the vehicle, and that's when the injury occurred. Burks is accused of running from law enforcement after slamming the door on the deputy's leg. He was eventually caught near Sydney Loop. Burks is also facing a number of traffic violations. He remains in jail.
Tupelo police charge a man in connection with a shooting early Sunday at a Waffle House that sent 2 people to the hospital. 24-year-old Nicholas Pack faces an aggravated assault charge. One of the victims is in critical condition tonight. Police say Pack turned himself in Sunday evening. No word on what sparked the shooting. Pack is expected to have his bond set tomorrow. Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson is standing by now to give us a first look at our forecast on this Monday. Hey, Keith.
Hey Andre, it is steamy out there, mid and upper 80s in most spots currently. We are watching a few blips on radar just east of Fulton there, right along the state line, a bit of a shower. Farther south, southeast of the Golden Triangle area, we're watching this batch of showers and storms lifting back to the northwest along the I-20-59 corridor. Now you can see that with our Skycam in Columbus. So that activity is going to try and slip on in here later this evening. We're going to keep that rain chance going through at least 9 o'clock or so. After that, we settle down, but it's going to be a warm night. We'll do it again tomorrow. More in just a few minutes.
New at 6 tonight, the Mississippi State Department of Health is reorganizing the agency to save some money. Right now, there are 9 health districts. Beginning July 1st, the agency will have 3 regions. One of the regional offices will be in Tupelo. The others will be in Jackson and Biloxi. MSDH says the move will save $1.5 million in administrative costs. Retirements, resignations, and reassignments have been reduced, or rather have reduced the overall workforce. The agency does not expect to lay off employees at county clinics and district offices.
Starkville mayoral candidate Johnny Moore wants a new election and the courts to decide if that will happen. Moore's attorney William Starks claims there are more than 60 votes in question. There are claims of voting irregularities with how absentee ballots were accepted and rejected, along with who was allowed to cast a ballot. A hearing with the Democratic Executive Committee is scheduled for tomorrow morning. Stark says a candidate only has 10 days to file a judicial review of election contest, which would be tomorrow. Moore doesn't believe there will be enough time to canvass the ballots in one day. Stark says by filing the petition today, it preserves his client's legal rights.
Staying in Starkville, 2 historic homes there are no longer standing downtown. The more than 50-year-old homes were not registered on the local or national historic registry. In their place now will be a new development called Midtown Apartments. That project will include living space, retail shops, and restaurants. The multi-million-dollar project is expected to be completed by August of 2018. Well, historic homes are a part of a town's history. Antebellum, Victorian, arts and crafts, mid-century, modern. Some homes date back to the 1800s.
We have a lot of them around here, but many old homes are in disrepair. It takes money and a good contractor to bring these pieces of the past back to life. Our Jory Talley joins us live in the studio with more on buying and renovating historic homes. Jory?
Andre and Joey, I talked to a historic homeowner today who tells me that renovating older homes is a national trend across the country. I also find out why it's so popular and how much money it all costs to give these homes a fresh touch.
These homes have a story.
Everyone wants a nice looking home, something that's unique, something that is in themselves, and for someone that lives in a historic home such as myself, it's just a matter of pride and a matter of just essentially like in the history of a community.
Many of the families who built these houses and raised their families here are no longer living nearby, but some residents want to keep the community residential history intact.
One day, some of these people that own these homes, their children will come back here and will want to see where their parents, their grandparents lived, and it's no longer here.
If somebody don't want it tore down, then they need to buy it. They need to preserve it. But I think they should be preserved, and there is federal money and grant money out there to preserve them.
Plus, some people say they just don't make them like they used to decades ago.
The character of the neighborhood and the structure itself. There's generally an architectural style and materials and designs that are just unique to that structure.
Historic homeowner Buddy Sanders bought his 90-year-old house over a year ago and plans on spending around $11 grand on renovations.
Restoring the original hardwood floors, essentially replacing the wood rot with materials that are like on the home, returning the color to a color of the house that would be typical of something that was built in the 20s, along with doors and windows.
In about 2 weeks, the Oktibbeha County Gardens District will go before a Historic Preservation Committee for consideration to be the first mid-20th century architectural historic district in the state. Andre and Joey?
All right, Jory in the studio with that story. A close vote leads to a historic election in one area city.
We head to Webster County after the break.
Welcome back, everyone. Lamar Dumas and Eupora will make history in just a couple of weeks. When he takes office in July, Dumas will be the first African American to hold the city's top elected position. The lifelong resident and career Natchez Trace Electric Power Association employee won last week's mayoral election by just 2 votes. Dumas believes his term will be an opportunity to bring the community together. While he's excited about the results, Dumas is not taking it for granted.
I was somewhat excited about winning the election, but I understand that the winning election requires a lot of work, and so I think myself and the Board of Aldermen will come together, same as the community has come together, and we rallied to try to build better and greater things for the community.
And Dumas takes office officially on July the 1st.
A Tupelo church is hosting an annual conference designed to fuel the faithful. Outstretched Hands International Ministries of Christ is holding the conference at Temple of Compassion and Deliverance. It started Sunday with praise, prayer, and an appearance by a Christian comedian. Bishop Clarence Parks says the 6-day conference features something for all ages and is meant to build up believers and spread the word.
I hope people focus change towards kingdom, because God is always promoting the kingdom. He says in his word, "Fear not, little flock, it is the Father's good pleasure to give us the kingdom." So he wants us to be happy, he wants us to be enriched, he wants us to love one another, and he wants us to be changed. He wants us to always understand that no matter where there's opposition, there's also expectation for things to become better.
A schedule of events is on our website, WCBI.com.
Well, look at this. Some severe weather out here across the High Plains. Currently in Wyoming, of all places, 5 tornado warnings. So that's where the roughest weather is tonight. We saw the risk for a little bit of thunder shower activity here this evening. More on that after the break.
Your first alert weather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
Let's talk about your Tuesday forecast. More of the same, some clouds, some muggy air at 8 o'clock, 74 degrees. That's it. By noon, 85, partly cloudy. And by 4 o'clock, scattered showers and thunder showers possible. Warm and humid with temperatures, the feel-like temperature actually, in the mid to possibly upper 90s. This is how it looked today. Our Alpha Insurance time lapse from downtown Tupelo. It looks like a pretty nice day. If you were staying in the air conditioning, if you went outside into that, you certainly know how uncomfortable it is. And with all this deep tropical moisture, we've seen scattered showers. One little batch of activity near Red Bay, Alabama. And here's a bigger batch of showers and thunder showers along I-20-59. The biggest storm cell is approaching Tuscaloosa right now. Look at that thing, some pretty good lightning with it. We can see that with our Alpha Insurance camera from downtown Columbus. That is that storm southeast of Tuscaloosa. That is moving back to the west. We still could see a few of those slip on into our area later this evening. In Columbus, 87, it feels like 95. Widespread 80s and 90s out there today. The heat index flirting with the mid to upper 90s. So if you haven't seen rain today, still mid to upper 80s. If you have seen some rain and some clouds, it is a little bit cooler. The heat index just obscene in some spots still at this hour, not just locally, but across most of the eastern third of the country, 2/3 of the country right now. It is warm outside of those areas that have seen the showers and storms. Now, the muggy air, it is entrenched, and look, it is not going anywhere anytime soon. It is June, it is summer, almost officially summer, but still, it's just going to be downright humid for the next couple of days around here. And daily rain chances 40% Tuesday, Wednesday. The best chance is Thursday at 50%, and then we'll just carry that over into the weekend with some scattered showers and storms possible. Now that means don't cancel your outdoor plans, but do have a backup plan in case one of those storms comes on through. But you may want to reconsider any long time outdoors with these warm temperatures in the upper 80s to low 90s tomorrow. That future heat index into the low 90s to mid 90s, maybe some upper 90s tomorrow and on Wednesday. So more of the same. That's how it looks. So here's Futurecast. You can see some building showers and thunder showers around the region again tomorrow. Same story into your Wednesday. A weak front approaches Thursday, so maybe a better chance of rain there on Thursday. But suffice to say, a daily opportunity for at least some rain. Not every location will see the rain every day here, but it is possible. Upper 80s, low 90s during the day, low 70s at night.
Coming up, we bid farewell to Mississippi State baseball and hear more from the departing Bulldogs following last night's loss. That's coming up next in sports.
WCBI Sports with Robbie Donahoe is brought to you by your local Ford dealers. Go further.
There's only one team in sports that can finish their season a winner and a champion. Mississippi State continued to defy the odds and stun everyone in the hopes of being that team in college baseball. But the comeback kids ran out of magic in the wee hours of Monday morning down on the Bayou, as LSU was able to outlast Mississippi State and pull away late to win Game 2 in the Baton Rouge Super Regional 14-4 as the Attack of the hiccups. Here we go again. LSU is going to the College World Series. The Bulldogs fought and clawed throughout, but ultimately the lack of pitching depth reared its ugly head in the second game of their best-of-3 series. MSU finishes the season 40-27, returns a tremendously talented team next year. They'll have to wait on draft statuses of Ryan Gridley and Jake Mangum. A couple of those guys possibly could get picked first 5 to 6 rounds of the draft. We'll have to wait and see. But 3 of the Bulldogs departing spoke of their memories being in maroon and white.
It's been a cool year from many standpoints, from just from that to being able to just watch my team grow up like we did throughout this year. All the young guys at the beginning of the year who were just so inexperienced and honestly immature, and watching them grow up and develop into the people and the players they are today has been, that's kind of been the coolest thing for me.
We played hard this year with everything we had, but I just told them to just come back and be ready to go again. You've got the best coach in America, just like Brent said, and you're playing for arguably the best university in the country, and they're building the $65 million stadium for them to play in. And I was just like, hey, fellas, learn from this. Learn how we got here and learn from what we did wrong to not go to Omaha and make a run at it again.
This is my 5th year. I got redshirted my first year, and being able to play on a team that went to Omaha and see that the work ethic that those guys have, and be able to bring that to the table every single day, and especially for those young guys that haven't got to experience that, is pretty cool. And a lot of people can't say that they got to experience that before. And I can't thank coaching staff and the coaches that brought me in, my teammates and everyone for the experiences and the memories that I've made here.
And once again, the MLB draft starts tonight. You're probably going to hear Brent Rooker's name within the first 2 rounds that will be announced, this evening. So we'll have to wait and see where the Rooker ends up. But the College World Series almost all set. Florida Wake Forest are still playing. They're actually in a rain delay, so we'll have to wait and see if we get another SEC team into Omaha. Already have 2 with A&M and LSU, but already a pretty good and pretty talented field making their way, to TT Ameritrade Park. Oh, gosh. All right, let's continue on to the track. Former ICC student athlete and Saltillo star Reggie Miller taking his talents to Starkville. Miller signed a letter of intent to compete with the Mississippi State track and field program after he caught the eyes of coaches with his high jump abilities at the Bulldog Relays in March. Miller played basketball at ICC before turning his attention to the track. I got one more. I think I can do it. Morble's Madison Walton. She is signed with ICC softball. She hit .430 as a senior to help lead the Lady Troopers to back-to-back fast pitch state championships. So congratulations to Madison. And obviously, I won't be signing anywhere because I can't control myself on air.
You're just fine. And it always happens during
again,
it does.
Now they're gone.
And now they're gone.
They're not here anymore.
You have hiccups because you're wearing flip-flops. You know that, don't you?
I'm not supposed to say that.
Sorry.
By the way, we're going to talk about the high school football tour coming up tonight at 10. That starts a week from tonight. We're going to release the full schedule on our website and on Twitter at WCBI Endzone. We'll release that in the next couple of minutes or so.
Doesn't seem like it should be happening yet.
It doesn't feel like football season's happening, but It's hiccup season, too.
There you go. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Some showers and storms to our southeast, actually moving back to the northwest. They're falling apart, but we still have the chance for a little bit of rain here this evening. If you missed out today, several more opportunities for rain.
No fear.
Daily opportunity here. If you're new to the region, this is what we expect here for most of the summer. Warm, humid, daily storm chances.
All right.
Very humid.
Very, just a little bit.
Was it Saturday that it felt, or Friday it felt just nice?
Oh,
and
gorgeous.
crisp?
Yes, and
it
we've really
was.
changed that around.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
quick.
Hopefully soon we'll be able to do that.
A couple
get
more
it back
months?
again. Right.
Yeah.
Are you saying
September, October?
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Keith. Thank you so much for joining us, everybody. Have a great night.